Hey guys, it is Rachel Feldman. If somebody could just let me know, if you could hear me, that would rock. Just God forbid we have a recording. Thank you. All right. Thanks, Angela. I really appreciate that. Thanks, Carmen. Great to see you. First, I just want to say thank you so much for being here. Aw, Kimberly saying happy birthday. Aw, that's so sweet. I know. I feel like I need to celebrate. Not only was it my 10-year anniversary, but then it was my birthday and I turned 41. So I feel like this is just such a killer month. And it's always a month that I also got pregnant with both my babies. So I always say to my husband, like, stay a little away. We don't need more babies. We love our babies. We only have two hands, both of us. But anyway, with that being said, I just want to welcome you tonight. This is a webinar I'm really excited to do. I'm also going to do like screen shares and more tech tutorials, because what I'm really finding through not only the Learn to Hustle forum that we have, that's the free forum that many of you are in, but in other forums that I'm in, is that, coaches have graduated school and they have the knowledge, they have the passion, they have everything. And yet they say to me, I don't know what to do. I don't know where to start. And so I see coaches and I get to work with them either one-on-one or in the forums, with the Done For You programs. Or I get to just, look at different forums and see like what's happening with coaches. Where are the pieces not being connected? And so, I see a lot of coaches who buy not only my programs, but like every other program out there, every other course out there, and they're still feeling confused. So, as I've gotten really clear on what my purpose is in this world right now, it is to help other coaches to build profitable and sustainable businesses that are built with passion and purpose. I was working with a coach earlier today, and we were going over her About Me story and her niche. And she was like, I have all this great stuff, and yet nobody's signing up for my opt-in freebie. Nobody's, limited people are signing up for my programs. And as we really worked through that About Me story, and we were writing copy together and we were writing down key pain points and messages, I realized that so many of you guys out there are struggling in the same areas. You have everything that you need. Some of you have killer websites. Some of you don't have websites. Some of you are selling programs off of Eventbrite or lead pages while your site is getting built. Some of you are building sites, on Squarespace or Wix or Weebly to test out your message. Highly encourage that, hint, hint, to kind of, just get yourself out there. But my mission is to teach you exactly what I did and how I built a business. And I always say, if you can build a business that is getting you clients, that is getting you health histories, to convert. And, if you want to do online or offline, that is a home run business. And that's when you take this from hobby land, or when you take this from, oh crap, how do I make this work, into a business that's really making you money. And, before I even introduced myself, I was on the phone with a coach yesterday, and I said, imagine this. You build your list, and say you don't even charge a higher number for a program, any program. Say you're not even charging 90, but say you're charging $50. And this is where I just want to break it down, because money issues, we can have a lot of money issues. Many of us have it. Believing in ourselves, charging our worth. You can even say, in the comment, like, yeah, Rach, definitely have those. Especially when we're in a heart-based business. And so we have to get around those money issues. We have to get clear on what we charge. Are we doing single sessions? Does that not fit your model? Are you doing a 3-month? How to make your work with me page tantalizing so that it's more than just 2 50-minute sessions, and how to really bring in money so that you can live on this or support your family or, access whatever vision and dream you have for making this business more than just something, like I said, that you do as a hobby. One example before we even get into our kick-ass webinar is that, say you had a program and you're not selling it for $99, but you want to sell it for $50, and you want to have a cooking class in your house, and you say, you know what, I can get 20 people, in my house, in my kitchen. It may be a little packed, but, I will buy the food and I will give them a program for 50. So that's 50 times 20 people. You just made $1,000. Now, if you can do that twice a month, that's $2,000. So that's $2,000 times 12, that's $24,000. Say that you take that up and you charge $75. Let's just even do this before we get into this, rock out your challenge. $75, and you have 20 people, $1,500. If you do that twice a month, that's $3,000. If you convert, which typically the conversion rate of an email is about 3%, but if you convert any one of those people to your one-on-one coaching, and let's just say you're doing early coaching prices, which is like $250 a month. Say you bring on, 3 people that month, that's $750. So 750 times 12 is $9,000. Added on to the 24,000, we now have 33,000. So that is just a small. Now, would you probably see more than 3 people? Yes. Would you convert also those $50 people into a larger program or into a different program? Yes. And that's why we're here to talk about this, because it is completely possible to make money as a health coach. I do, though, believe content, and I wrote this actually in an email to a coach. He was asking me, he's like, hey, I found you online, and I'm building my business. I was checking out your programs. And I wrote back to him, content is king. I was like, that is it. Like, content equals visibility, equals authority, equals, and that ties into your branding. So, you have to get a little crafty these days with marketing because there's so much noise on Facebook. And people are truly looking for community, which is why, and I'm actually going to keep it in this format, even though it's much prettier in the other, because I can actually see your questions. Unless you want to go into the other pretty one, and then I don't have to see questions. But if you want to ask questions, I am more than happy, because that is how you're going to learn. Or we can save the questions till the end. Okay, so bear with me. We can actually go into pretty mode to make it just pop a little more. Then it's also easier for you to read. So how to rock out a challenge like a pro. That's the whole point. Is that, you want to set the dates for the challenge. This is the biggest thing. And I'm going to show you steps when we hop onto Facebook and show you how to create them as well. But you want to set your dates for your challenge. You want to always live by your calendar. And I say this over and over when coaches buy programs. If you're launching an opt-in freebie and it's, a mini detox, people really need to have a date in front of it. So if you say, even in your opt-in, like, hey guys, grab this for like a limited time, like this is around for the next 14 days, that creates urgency. So especially when you're doing challenges, though, it's very important for you to think strategically. And I've made the mistake of not doing this, so that's why I'm saving you the pain. And also, it's not just the pain, it's also the ebb and flow of moving people into really your paid program or health histories. Challenges don't always have to lead into online programs. Challenges are about building your list. So if you know that you are launching a program like April 22nd, on Earth Day or something like that. Let me just pull out my calendar so I'm looking at this while we do this. Say you're launching on like the 21st maybe, because that would be a Thursday night. Always a great night to send out materials, and say you kick off, your forum on the 22nd and all that jazz, and, create that buzz, because I always say, look at your holidays and look at your planning, what's happening with people. And this is when you start to learn how to market like an absolute pro, is that to live by your calendar. So set your dates. So it's very important when you're doing a challenge, like I said, set your dates, and to also know, say your challenge is going to be right here, 7 days long. Then you want to market that challenge 2 weeks before. So if we know that you're rocking out and you're starting, let's just say your program on April 22nd, like, hello, Earth Day. Some of you I've seen in the forum where you're doing like after Mother's Day. And of course, who doesn't want to get beach ready for Memorial Day weekend, the summer? This is why I always say, look at what's happening in the world and human psychology, and you will find exactly how to market. So you want to start marketing that challenge like on the 8th or the 7th. So send, an email on the 7th in the morning, or try a night email. You can also try a lunch bunch email, which is 11:30. Those can be nice on Fridays. Also Friday afternoon, like 3:30, 4, sometimes even 5 when people are wrapping up. A lot of people like those 7 o'clock, 7:30, 8 o'clock, because we're scrolling through our phones then. You want to market that 2 weeks. Let me just say it loud and clear. And I say this, and people who have bought programs from me, I always say, please, I know you feel overwhelmed editing materials, but sometimes it's better to spend 2 hours, in front of a whiteboard and really looking at your calendar, so that you can effectively market and back into it. So you always back in. I'm actually going to be teaching a class like in 2 weeks about like marketing like a pro, really marketing every aspect like a pro. I think it's like 2 or 3 weeks, but you want to back into your date. So if we have the 22nd, again, 7th or 8th is your email. You're starting to create the buzz because, you want to, or it would be like the 31st or the 7th or 8th. You can market it for 1 to 2 weeks. You want to lead people into your open date. So if you send out on the 7th or the 8th, and you market that, you can say, hey, doors are opening for my 7-day challenge, which could start on the 17th, which would flow right into your cart being open, or you could start on the 16th of April. If it's a 14-day, and again, we're just looking at this with calendars or pretending that it's the 22nd, then you would want to market 1 week earlier, just to give yourself, that time. Do periscopes if you're comfortable. Do videos if you're comfortable. The whole idea is that you're leading people, to your paid program, or your one-on-one or health histories. Oops. Decide on how you're going to deliver the information in the challenge. Like, this is a big one. Are they getting an e-guide? Are you putting this in the closed forum? How are you getting people on your list? So you can have MailChimp, Aweber, MadMimi, any of these would work, but you need to have an email list so that you can get people on, so that you can invite them to your challenge. I highly encourage, when you do a challenge, do it in a closed Facebook forum. Why? Why? Because we talked before about the trust factor. You're only going to build the trust factor when you have them in a closed forum. You can send emails, you can send daily emails, and I'm going to talk about this. But when you can get somebody in a closed forum, you are not only building trust and communicating, you can have tips and everything scheduled. You can tell people, look, in that like welcome letter, almost the follow-up letter, your autoresponder. You can say, I'm so excited for us to start our challenge on on the morning of the 16th at 9 a.m. Join the forum. I will have all the details for how you're going to start your challenge. You want to give them, though, like in that one welcome email, some basic guides, but you want them to join the forum. I've made the mistake before of giving people a guide, and then not as many people join a forum. But if they know that they have to join that forum, maybe give them like a worksheet or the pre-prep that they need to do for this challenge. So when they come to the challenge, they are good to go. Now, again, that might be different for some of you who have the smoothie challenge, have also, some of the different done for you, e-guides. But the more that you can make it tantalizing. So even if you do want to give them the guide and shopping list, but you tell them they have to come to the closed forum because you're going to do a giveaway or you're going to do something really special, but they have to be in the forum to get announced of the winner. It just, again, these are reinforcements for you to build community, which is actually something that I talked about the other day when we were doing a webinar. So solutions, you can use your email list. Eventbrite, many people use Eventbrite, not only to just make this challenge, because some of you, like I said, don't have sites, or you don't have the time, or you don't have the money to hire somebody to create either lead pages, or it's just too much, or you're tech deficient, whatever it is. If you have a WordPress site, you can just add a page, and you can even do a challenge on a blog, as long as you have it linked to the URL so people know exactly how to sign up and you're capturing their emails. Lead pages also have lead boxes that you can do as a plugin for your WordPress as well. Some of you have Wix, Weebly, all these different things that give you the option to have a pop-up. So the biggest thing is capture their emails. That is the most important thing. So if you wanted to do it off of Eventbrite, you can capture the emails. You just have to download them and then, email those people, of course. Create the closed and exclusive private Facebook forum. Again, this is where you're building trust. I have found it ideal to put the materials in the forum, also to let people know that they're getting like a special free gift if they go into that forum. And again, that could be a challenge, that could be a giveaway. Many of you guys are in MLMs, and you have, different products, or you make your own products. So whatever it is that you want to give away, or maybe you just want to get like a gift card to Whole Foods, or maybe you want to give somebody like, really cool Epsom salts. So, whatever it is that you want to create, that little cool baggie that you're giving somebody, or sending out, make it so that people are very well aware of the fact that if they sign up and give you their email and they trust you, you're going to be giving out some really cool things. Also, deliver on day one or in the welcome email some juicy tips, like I said, or a handout. Handouts can be made on Canva really easily. They can also be made in Word document. If you're not like really good at doing those kind of designs, like sometimes it is worth to find the person on like Fiverr or Upwork, or PowerPoint is really easy to make stuff as well. So it doesn't have to be like fancy schmancy. It just has to be a cool worksheet. And again, that can be done in Word. I always advise for your challenges to make them most successful for you, create the daily tips. So if it's a 7-day or a 14-day, create those ahead of time. Keep that on a Google Doc or a Word document, in a place that's easy for you to access, like day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4, day 5, day 7. And you can put that in your forum. I'm actually going to show you how to create pin posts, a few different things. and then create those juicy pre-marketing materials on Canva or PicMonkey. Again, this is just like launching. You have to really think out the whole process. It's not just about, wow, I bought this program and now I'm going to edit it. People need to get excited. You need to create that buzz. Instagram is such a cool place to kind of get people excited, sell products, get people to your opt-in freebies, same as Facebook. Those are really the two platforms I love. I do enjoy Periscope a lot. But I find I really thrive on Facebook and Instagram. So again, you can give handouts, a PDF workbook, and daily action tips. And you can schedule them also in Buffer, BUFFER.com. Or you can and that allows you to schedule right into groups. So if you're working that 9 to 5 or you're on vacation, you can still have that continual, feed of information, great tips, and add on your phone that group to your favorite so that, you can pop into that group, take a video from your phone, really engage. That's the biggest thing, is that engagement is so important. So decide if you want daily emails. Like, you can have not only the tips in the forum, but daily emails that go to your challenge people at like 6 a.m. And they don't have to be long. You're just giving some, juicy tips and reminders, and reminding them always to come back to the forum. Be powerful with your tips, because, the thing is, there's so much information overload. I mean, I can't tell you the amount of times I had clients say to me, like, what should I eat? I read this book, Carb Cycling, or I read this book on raw, or I read this book on this. And it's like, we're in such information overload. Make it so that your challenges are really demystifying this information overload and showing yourself as an expert, because that is why somebody's going to buy your online program. That is why somebody's going to ask for a health history. That's why somebody's going to want to hire you one-on-one. It's going to be because you give great content and you're really showing up as a human and a normal person. You're really in challenges. You're sharing your daily life. This is where you build trust. You build raving fans. You build authority. And that really is about you building your brand. You can spend a crap load of money on a site, and that is amazing to have a great site. But when you can build that authority for people to also know who you are, building your brand, all of a sudden you get known. Like, I never thought that I would be known as kind of the detox girl. It's just, I realized that there was so much more than just the food on the plate, with my own, kids, health stuff that they had when they were little, with my autoimmune, with my Lyme, with my husband's autoimmune. I knew that, we were eating healthy, and that we still had gut issues, and that when I, would wear perfume, that it would affect me. And I realized, wow, okay, this is really a clogged lymphatic system. This is really a clogged liver. And so after I went to the first school that I attended for health and wellness, I really got interested in the power of detoxification, which was always introduced to me by functional medicine doctors, and even my own internist and people who I had worked with for my own health issues. But I became really interested after reading like the work of, Liz Lipsky and Alejandra Younger, and just, Paul Pitchford, and people that I respected. And so I started going to detox schools really for my own family, for my own health. So, the very things that you do, the very, how you want to brand yourself, how you want to be known, will also come out in your challenges. And I've done so many different challenges. So one of them that I want to show you is Lisa Consiglio, Ryan. She's a good friend of mine. I always talk about her. She has a smoothie challenge. She also has a juice challenge. Her juice challenge, I think there's like 8,000 people, if I'm correct. And here is a 21-day smoothie challenge that she did. She does them over and over. So the mistake that I made many times were that I would just create a new group. Now I always create new groups for people that, for people that have paid programs. But for, if I would have been smart, I would have just created one group for my challenges, or one group for the 21, just like she did for the 21-day green up smoothie challenge. I think I had about 8 different groups for smoothie challenges that would have equaled to thousands of members. So, this is a smoothie challenge that Lisa does. You can also check out her work. I think she's brilliant. And she not only runs seasonal detoxes, but she runs a detox where she actually does a yearly membership. So it's really cool. Oops, hold on. There we go. Couldn't get to my, oops. Couldn't get to my, for some reason I couldn't get to, so we're just gonna have to be here. It wouldn't let me scroll. So Lisa runs that, and I think, again, it's amazing. And it's something that is very easy to do. Oops. Oh my God. It's very easy to do. But there are also people who run meditation challenges. And I think, if you are one of those people who, you're not focusing on the food, and there's so many coaches that don't. It's really about meditation. It's really about, empowerment. It's, there's so many different things that they are focusing on, emotional eating. It doesn't have to be about the food. You don't have to be a health coach working with food. So I brought up, this meditation challenge because this is something a lot of coaches do as well. This was, Oprah's and Deepak's, but, tons of people do meditation challenges, or they do challenges that just have to do with their business. I remember a coach last season doing a plank challenge. She had hundreds and hundreds, and she was a fitness coach. And I said, oh my God, you are brilliant. And she had given one of the opt-in freebies with it. So she brought everyone into her challenge. And then she sold people to her paid program from that. And again, it's really thinking about your niche, and creating a challenge is just something that people are so interested in. Why? Because you go into a closed Facebook forum and you have community. So as I said, to really seal that deal, create a prize, make your challenge more desirable by doing a raffle or a prize for the X person. I always say, do this for the 50th person that signs up. So people are like, oh my God, I've got to get to that 50 number. Because the more that you can do that, the more that you're getting people on your list, but 2, you could also say, okay, hashtag this and post on my page, or post on the public challenge page, or post, and tag me on Instagram, or tag me on Pinterest. There's so many ways you can build your visibility. That's really what this is about. Your hashtag, get people to really know you, and then get the excitement. Like if somebody knows, oh my God, if I go to this challenge, I'm going to win, $50 worth of prizes, or I'm going to get access to a free program. They want to share, and they're going to invite their friends, and those are new prospects, and make it super fun. I think that's the other thing. We get really jacked, and, I often will get jacked on Facebook looking at people's, posts and marketing. I'm very open with this, with other coaches, with you guys. Stay in your own lane, look at what other people are doing. But, if you're not the greatest on PicMonkey or Canva and it doesn't look as great as somebody else, so what? If you make it fun and you inject your personality and, you make it something that is like really, really awesome, people will join. I sold my first 4 or 5 programs off of Eventbrite. I had a crappy website. I mean, my videos were horrible, but you know what? I had clients, and I had clients who consistently came back. They referred me. They came back, their family, their whole family, from babies to grandparents. And that's what you want to do. You can also create guidelines for what people should do in there. Create the pin post, which is what you saw Lisa do. And I'm going to show you also how to do that. Invite people to your challenge. And this is one that I did a long time ago, like an oil pulling challenge. I did a 7-day smoothie love fast. And it's an easy way to build. But again, you have to market it. I see so many people who say, nobody signed up for my challenge. I'm like, are you speaking to your niche and your pain points? Or, because I have built a list by like 650, now 430. This is one of the many smoothie groups, which is insane. There were how many? 439 members in this. I have other ones like where there's like 175, there's like 220. I mean, there are all these different, the oil pulling I did in a separate group. If I would have just kept them in one themed group or one other challenge, again, I would have been able to have consistency to market. Let me just force quit 1 second, because if not, it is going to kill me to hear that. And I don't want you guys to hear ding, ding. So you want to be able to do this because you want to be able to not only go in and market, but you want to go in and share blogs. You want to share information. You want people to know, wow, they can really go to you as that go-to person. So you start to build conversation in those different forums that you have. So that's why a closed Facebook forum is essential. Having great content in there, worksheets, and then also thinking about your delivery of your materials. Killer content leads people to pay programs. Killer content of you and building trust and answering questions, and really helping people to navigate, like, yeah, this is a really confusing place, with all this information. Okay, great. So I'm asking you these questions. And then you're able to lead people, I have this program coming up, or, I'm doing health histories on Friday. Here is my, a link to schedule with me. You really start to build community, which is really what Facebook is all about. If you're like me, you're working from an office by yourself. Most people in this world are working long hours. They're coming home. If they have kids, they're taking them to soccer practice. I mean, these are the clients that I have. They're taking them to soccer practice. They barely make it in the door to feed their children, which is why half the people are picking up, just crap food, ordering in pizzas, taking out frozen food, and that's not even healthy. So they need people like you to show them that things can be a little more simplified, to show them how to do batch cooking, to show them how to read labels, to simplify life when you're a busy parent, or when you don't feel well, or when you can't figure out what's going on with you. That's why they need coaches. But we only have that visibility and that opportunity when we start to do these challenges, because challenges are so profound these days. Because again, 1, people want community. 2, it's you interacting. It's not like somebody's just reading a blog post or something that you pitched or wrote for Mind, Body, and Green or Elephant Journal, or, wrote in a column in a paper. Like, this is you interacting. And 2016, as you see with Periscope, Snapchat, videos, everything, it's very different. People really want to see you interacting with them. So before we even get into, and I'll do questions after, before we even get into yes, this being my birthday bash, I did post on Rachel's Wellness. We'll go there. I did post on Rachel's Wellness a video at the top. I am giving away not only Kindle Fire, which is unbelievable. My kids are upset. I did not buy them one for them. But I'm giving away a basic or easy weight loss program. So if you qualified for this and you don't have easy weight loss and you have basic, you can get easy weight loss. If you want the basic detox, plus I'm giving away the smoothie challenge. So both are done for you programs. Both are white label, which means that you can add your brand, your information, you can edit, you can chop, you can, insert this and double up a program that maybe you already have. I mean, there's so many opportunities, and coaches ask me all the time, how did I create so many different programs? And it was the doubling up of programs. It was using existing content that I had, pulling handouts, everything to create what I have seen in my business, which was one where I had consistent great content. And that's why people would say, wow, I've followed you for a year. I've read every blog post. I've signed up for every, opt-in freebie. I've signed up for every webinar, and now I want to hire you. And, that's what you want. You want to have those health histories during the week, but people have to be able to find you because you're visible. So if you go to Rachel's Wellness and you share that video at the pinned post on your personal page, on your business page, but underneath that video, also tell me why you need to win this. And, please, tell me from your heart, not just I need to win this because it's cool and it's your birthday. Just tell me really what this would do for you to have these different components in your business. How you want to build your brand, how you want to have more visibility, what is working, what is not working. So that is my big birthday bash. And, if you didn't know, we still are running, we do have a coupon, and it's right here. So it's Play Big 15 off. So let me, though, go into what we said we were going to do. And then I'm going to get on some questions. So when you are building out, and we can just do a test one, when you are, see, there it is, the pin post. I love how it's got those funny faces now. When you want to go into creating a group, all you have to do, that's actually Dory. Ellen, I have to call her. She is actually my first acupuncturist and the godmother to my babies, and that was a very special cat to her, Chippy, who actually was always with my acupuncture treatments. And she's looking pretty sad, so I'm going to have to call her right after this because she is one of the women who I completely respect in my life, and have really tailored my business to be around how she was, which was always available and always humble and always loving and always shared her life and everything with me. So, okay, this is how we create a group. So you want to create a group. Go right here. We're going to just call this test. Let's just call this Test Smoothie Challenge. And you can put your name, let's just, put, we're going to just say for health coaches. So if that was your niche, you could say for happy women, or you could say for, you don't have to say for anything, but if you wanted to kind of niche it out, then you want to make closed. If you wanted this to be a public group, you can have it be a public group. Anyone can see this group. Its members can see the post. Anyone can find the group and who's in it. Only members can see the post. I like to keep things closed. You need to add one name. So let's just add Michelle to the group. So always add just one person. You can add a friend, you can add a husband, you can add a family member, and then we go and create. Let's just do a little sign or an apple. since we're creating something like uber healthy. Upload a photo. Let's just do free photo, and let's just do this. That's pretty beautiful. It's a gorgeous photo. So here I have my, my banner. I highly, suggest that you go to PicMonkey, to Canva, make that banner so that you have your text and the name. You can also use Bitly right here so that this becomes, an opportunity for you, the same as any of your banners anywhere. It becomes an opportunity for marketing. So this could say like Rachel Feldman's, smoothie challenge, sign up here. And I could put a link right there by going to PicMonkey, using the butterfly to have an overlay, and then using the T button to add text. I can also create a pin post saying, welcome to the smoothie challenge. I am so excited. In the file section, you will find your guides plus a welcome letter from me to you on how to start the challenge. Now, again, that is totally optional, but I have found that, raving fans equal raving fans come from, when you kind of create like very simple steps. So you can say, number one, download the materials. Number two, go shopping. You could say number three, get chopping for your smoothie, and you can prep the night before or even make your smoothie the night before. Number four, if you post a smoothie picture and tag me more than once a day, you enter and you could say like the raffle to win X. I will announce the winner on X date. Let's get this party started. If you have questions, just tag me. And then you can put, let's just put a free picture of a smoothie. And then you post that. And then right here, see how I just hovered right and I clicked on that little? All you have to do is pin the post, and that will stay. And you can do that for your post, daily, like pin the post, boom, it's right there. You can also create an event. So if you go here and you create events, you can create an event from your personal page. You can create an event from your business page. You want to go and hit public. You want to choose the page. It could be from Rachel Feldman. It could be from Rachel's Wellness. We can add a photo again, free. Again, this photo would have your banner, and then do the name like, free smoothie challenge for, driven women. Let's just say that's what, then right here, you would put the link to the sign up for Eventbrite. Co-host, you could put another link right there. Tell people about the event. What are they going to get? Are you doing a free, are you doing a giveaway? All that cool extra stuff. Are you giving away something? Decide what it's going to be. Is it community? Is it entertainment? Is it an interest, learning class, etc.? Then create. So that is how I would effectively run a challenge. Again, we went over the dates. Just to recap, we went over dates. We went over backing into your programs. This is also buffer. Buffer doesn't have a post on your back. So this is actually buffer. So if you wanted to go into buffer and add a group, and my buffer is already connected, but you can go in and it allows you like connect a group. So if I wanted to go and connect a group, it would ask me what different group, like here's the 7-day smoothie challenge. So I would connect this group and then I would go and schedule my post. So I could say, yes, I want to connect that group. Right there, of course, I'm going to, delete that group. But I can go in and post like, tip number 1. And then, write that out, have that scheduled. Don't post to everything else. You just want to post to that one group. You can schedule your posts and you can schedule them for the whole day. And that's how you really work a challenge like a pro. And then, at the end of your challenge, you're leading them to your program, whether you want to end that with, a really great letter, whether you want to invite people to, to a webinar exclusively for those VIP people. But that is why I believe that, challenges, opt-in freebies that you turn into challenges. Even one of the challenges that I did, and I built my list, I think by like 615, was that I took one of the weeks of a program, I think it was like Revitalize, and just did it purely as a list builder and said, okay, I'm giving you, 1 week of clean eating. Here it is. Come into a forum with me. And then I sold people to the detox. And that was, highly effective because I get to, work with people then in a closed forum. And it's really fun to, watch people go through their transformations emotionally and physically. And that is also the beauty of closed forums. So I'm going to actually, right now, open this up to questions. I'll start with Debbie actually at the top. She said, should a work with me page be part of a sales page in a done for you program to personalize it? I like work with me pages to be separate. When I talk about accentuating a work with me page, I always say like that's where you could do, your work with me page and your signature program could be, incorporated. There are tons of coaches that incorporate seasonal clean eating or cleanses, or they have their signature program, like Revitalize, or a lot of coaches turn that into a 6-week program or a 3-month program because they add extra components. So that's on that work with me page is really where I would use those program enhancers to make it more desirable than just 2 50-minute sessions. I'm not saying that that doesn't work. I just feel that in a sea of coaches and wellness experts and life coaches and everything, you have to stand out. You have to over deliver. You have to create community. I believe that firmly. And that is how you build your brand. And that is how you build authority, is that people know, wow, this person, really replies to my emails. This person, is there. And so I think on that work with me page, it should be of desire. So somebody wants to stay there and say, wow, let me contact her for a health history. Anna's saying, I've done everything you suggest, from pre-launch to paying for Facebook ads, which cost me a fortune, and generated 490 leads to several free opt-ins, but not one person has bought either programs I've launched. I even paid someone to help me with my sales funnel and built all the autoresponders with various tripwires along the way, depending. Yes. And this was kind of what I talked about earlier, and I see this all the time. And then I see coaches who buy like another program and another program. When people don't buy our programs, it's typically not the program. And I'm not saying this about mine or anyone else's. Yes, I mean, if you're working with people who are paleo, they're not going to buy a raw vegan program. So, that's a very clear, okay, yes, we've missed the boat. But often it's our messaging. Often either we did pre-marketing and we didn't go deep enough into our own story, deep enough into our backstory. We did pre-marketing where maybe we used images from, Rockstar, Detox, or maybe Paleo, since there's images, or Revitalize. But we didn't do a webinar, or we didn't, do enough where people actually got to know us. I think, online, and I always tell people, build yourself offline as well, because an online presence is really about somebody getting to know you every day, whether you're doing a live stream on your personal page, whether you're uploading videos, and for a lot of people, online is not as easy. And, sales funnels, if you look at click rates, and I highly encourage you to look at, if people are even opening the emails, are the subject lines tantalizing? Or is it just like, detox with me? Because we get, they're saying on average between 150 to 200 emails a day. So often it's the subject line, and it's the first 2 to 3 sentences in that copy that has to be so relevant to the very people in your niche, because that's where people, whether they're in Gmail or Outlook or anything, those are the first 3 lines that they see. So either they say, I'm going to open this or not. And sometimes it is really frustrating that we can spend like 1,000 plus on an email sequence and have nobody convert. But then what is the root? What is really at the root of it? Is it that we didn't speak clearly to our niche? Is it that maybe the words that we're using are not in alignment? I always say, and I learned this from, taking the copywriting courses that I've taken. It's like, really sit there and think about 30 words that consistently need to come up in your marketing. And especially if anyone has worked with people face to face, ask, your clients are telling you the very pain points and the words that we need to use in our marketing. So, maybe there was, paid advertisements, but people really needed to get to know you and get to know that, that you're somebody that they can trust. And I'm not saying that you weren't doing that. I'm just kind of troubleshooting as well on some different things. And I've interviewed many people who have said, I put my heart and my soul into this launch, and I realized that, I needed to get health histories. I needed to get people to understand that this program was for them, or it was too broad. Like, I help you to balance, I help you to do this, when you really needed to get more niche specific, touch on those pain points, and really get clear on who are the very people you're speaking to and how do they need to be spoken to. Are they statistical people? Are they people that need a story from you? Do they need to hear a story of where you were and where you are now? Do they need to hear success stories from your clients? And I think that's the biggest thing to health coaching, which is, it's an exciting part, but it's an unfortunate part as well, because many of us thought that we would just come out of school and people would hire us because we have so much, love and passion for what we do. And there's this whole other part to it. And it's really the marketing. I often tell people to actually sit more with the marketing than the editing of the documents, because it's your marketing and you're testing daily testing on on social media, and also seeing if you can get local events, because some people just are better, face to face. So I would really, go back and also, did you, with the 490 leads, did you follow up with them, or was the sales funnel built to only speak to your general list? Because the 490 leads would be the warm people. Even if you have only, a list of 30, if there are 30 that have signed up for an opt-in freebie, they're interested. And again, when you think about conversion rate of being 3%, that subject line has to be pretty tantalizing. It has to be pretty profound why I'm clicking over and I'm going to hire or buy anything from anyone these days. So I would say, like, go back to always the drawing board. It's not that you had like a failed launch, or it's not that you failed. It's just that probably the message needs to be totally reworked and really masterminded. I mean, I sit down, often for hours upon hours thinking about, a message or a webinar or what I'm going to say, or what my community needs to hear. And, that takes, it takes work, and it also takes posting and seeing, does somebody like this? Did it resonate with somebody? If they're not converting, why are they not converting? Am I not hitting on the pain points? Am I not getting into my backstory? So I hope that helps. Somebody said, can you change the challenges if you keep them in the same group? Yeah, I mean, you can totally. So if you're creating like a community and you want to run different challenges in there, yeah, you can make it so that you have this one group and be like, yeah, I'm running these awesome, challenges, and we're going to run a challenge a month. I mean, that's a crazy awesome list builder. So that URL can be on different sources, building that list, but bringing them still into the same community. And Julie, that's a great question, because I wish I would have done that in the beginning. People always say, like, what are the biggest mistakes? And it was really that. It was nobody saying to me, like, okay, and, have one community. And to be honest, nobody was doing that 7 years ago. Facebook isn't what it is today. Blab wasn't around, Periscope wasn't around. You had like MySpace and like a few other really crazy places. So, you can do that, and then also do like a Zoom for all your challenge people. Let them see you. Do a Google Hangout, and really get people so that they know you. They know your kids, or they know that they know what's happening in your life, because that's when people hire you. When we're putting out great content, we can't just come out of the gate and say, like, I've got a program. People have had to follow us. They need to know that we're talking the talk and walking the walk. Or at least that's just my humble opinion. Somebody said, how can you add the files to the button where the files are stored? I'm not sure if I understand how can I add files, but let me just go back into our forum. See, that's why I love Facebook. Just so cute, so cute. Okay, so where's the test? Let's go into test here. If you want to upload a file, all you have to do is, one, you can even create a document right here, title the document, insert the info. It's an easy way to do. Or you can upload a file right here, and it will ask you to choose the file, and you put the files right there. So I like to put a welcome letter sometimes and create a doc, like how to do this, and then upload the file right there. And then you can have your file stored. You can also, if you want, create a doc and add a Dropbox link. Either way that you so choose to do it, just so that your clients get exactly what they need. And again, so that you're building that trust. How can we gather their email addresses? Gila, I think I'm pronouncing that right. Gila, either way, it's a beautiful name. You want to use MailChimp or Aweber. A lot of people, again, as I've said this before, use Eventbrite. feel like we need to have a whole class just on this, which is why I'm going to do that in a few weeks. How to use all these. If you wanted to just, use Eventbrite not only can you make a gorgeous page, like, it's really, to be honest, it's unbelievable. You can make a whole page on Eventbrite. It will also collect the emails, which you can then download those emails. So let's even just say like classes. Like here are all the classes. So let's even just look at this. Like this is how much of, you can do a really, really cool looking Eventbrite page. And so you can sell tickets. One could be like, free, and that would of course be your opt-in freebie. This connects to PayPal. It's really, Eventbrite is really taken up a notch. You can also tweet it, share it, LinkedIn, like it. And you can make one that also fits your branding, also with different colors and everything. But this will collect emails. And then, to email people, you can download the email list, from this. And then, once you do get up in MailChimp, up and running, or wherever you want to put them, then that's where you're sending, because that's where you want to then announce to people that you have a program, whether it's through your email marketing or just, again, your Facebook community. Kim saying, do I recommend creating a new separate Facebook each time you run a challenge? What if you're doing multiple challenge? If you're doing multiple challenges, yes, 2 different Facebook groups, especially if it's like, I'll just give an example. Say you're running a challenge for like, let's just think of one, like a challenge that's like a smoothie challenge, or then you're running a challenge for like, just like you said, moms, maybe you're running a challenge for athletes. It is nice to have, separate forums if they're very different, but the key is always to bring them back to one community, because remember, email, I'm not saying email marketing's dead. I pay for email marketing. I don't pay to buy lists, but like I work hard on my email marketing. But a lot of people don't open them. That is the truth. A lot of people, click rates are much, much farther down than they used to be. And so I do think we have to be compelling in different ways in these ways to do challenges and to, and the other thing is there are so many coaches who sell programs, right from Eventbrite. So if you're like, wow, I stink at tech, or I'm waiting for the website, or I don't know what to say, don't wait. Just, that's how you get out there. I didn't wait. I had a crappy website. I didn't know how to add a PayPal button. I didn't know how to do the HTML. I was really tech deficient, like extremely tech deficient. And so I did it off of Eventbrite, and I sold 4 detoxes. Actually, the first 10 free programs were sold off of Eventbrite. I couldn't figure it out, and I didn't even know there were people you could hire. And I don't even know if I would, to be honest, because I'm kind of one of those stubborn people that says, I've got to figure this out to feel empowered. And but this is just it. Also, what's nice is Eventbrite. For a lot of people, it shows up in search engine optimization. People can search for this as well. Nita is saying, how many times a day do you post in the groups? I always like to do early morning, so like before people wake up, then before lunch, mid-afternoon, night. So I would say like 4 times. And they don't, again, think repurpose, guys. I want to say this over and over. So many of you have so many different programs, or you even have programs from me. I even was working with somebody today, and I was like, okay, let's, we can actually pull from one of the, the old detoxes that you have from me and create verbiage for, some of the content on your site. And that person was like, oh my God, that's brilliant. I was like, yeah, that's working like a pro. And we don't think that way, So Nita, I would really say, like, repurpose so much of content that you already have, and just add a little twist to it. Add a personal, thing, or shoot a video. But I like to be 4 times. Somebody was saying, I missed a minute when the dog was barking. Did you tell us how to run a group with no starting or end? I'm having trouble grasping how to do an ongoing group. You can have an ongoing group like this. So this is the one that I have for health coaches. I post, I will have to go in and tag, but I post like, tips all the time. Like here are the tips that I do. Like you need to plan your day, schedule your social media. So this is an ongoing group that I have. But you can have, you can have just like this, like the test smoothie challenge. The only thing is that if you do a challenge like this, the idea is that you get them to your ongoing group. Your ongoing group is nice if you are running. You can run multiple challenges because it's where you build community. There are tons of people who actually run their challenges in their groups, and they run all different challenges in their groups, and it's just about, again, giving great content, following up with people, really, finding where are those missing connections that people are having, and how can you fill the void? So yes, put everyone in the same forum. This is not a question, but Julie's saying it's not a question, but I want to say I've bought several programs from you. I've never been successful. The problem is I've always been a lack of belief in myself and sharing and afraid to fail. Your programs is amazing, and that's why I come back. Well, this is what I want to say, Julie, and anyone else who's feeling this. And I've been talking about this a lot because I see a lot of people talk about, like, make $5,000. A lot of, business coaches, they'll be like, make $5,000 doing this, system. Do this, do that. And that's great. We do all need systems. But one of the reasons I talk so much about, having anxiety, and being somebody who has to, had to work hard to eliminate that chatter. So I could really step into being a great business owner, a great mom, a great wife, but really a great woman, was that belief in myself. And there are days where I'm like, someone else is doing it so much better. And it's just negative self-chatter. And we have to get down to that story that we believe. And so I really should actually, I really should run just a group that is about, facing the fear, because I believe that's the biggest thing with health coaches. Clearly, and I think everyone on this call would say it's not a lack of information that we have. So Julie, what I would say is, if you want to come back this season, I will honestly hold your hand. And I would say to get an accountability buddy. Reach out in the forums, say, I need an accountability buddy. And that belief in ourselves comes from a daily reprieve of saying, I am different from so many other people. I don't have to be perfect. I may, whether you're an introvert or an extrovert, it's a message that you just have to get out there. And even if you say, my goal is to get 10 people to do this program with me, like in my kitchen, or 10 moms, or whatever it is totally possible, but we have to make that commitment to ourselves to believe in ourselves. It's the only way, despite all the fear and anxiety that I had all these years, I was always a doer, and persevered. And it's one of the things that I believe is a great quality, and one that that is contagious. So it's not like somebody just has it and we can't share it. You do have to do the daily work to say, I can do this. I can believe in myself. And I'm going to go for this, even though I'm scared. Because I know that there are a lot of coaches who don't go for it. And we keep buying more stuff instead of just getting clear on what is our message, what we're about, and really building trust in these kind of communities with our clients so that they do buy. Tiffany, somebody's already asking to join the challenge. See, guys, that does work, right? So if you're like on this and you're like, how would that work? Well, I would, of course, have somebody who would come into this community, or I would email any person who did want to join and say, here, yes, you have to sign up for this list. So let me just repeat that. If you have a forum and you want people to sign up for those lists and they're joining, you can email them, and say, hey, I see that you signed up for this, test for my smoothie challenge. I just got this up and running. Here's a list to join so you get all the information. Tara saying, I'm a bit confused about keeping one Facebook group going. Tara, that wouldn't be for a paid program. This is for a community so that you are letting people get to know you, building yourself up for your authority and visibility as an expert. And when you have a paid program, that is when you are creating like another, this was a very old one, but you're creating another closed, private, exclusive forum for people. And there are no members because everyone, got deleted from this and moved on to the spring cleanse, which is, again, like what you can do in a forum. You can, and ironically, like I could reach out to each one of these people and say, hey, I see that you've joined. Would you be interested in the Done For You programs, or are you interested? Like, how can I serve you? And so again, like our forums also become places for us to build and grow in so many different ways. How do you determine what goes on a personal page? That's a great question. And I talk about this all the time. I think it's, you really have to test it out. Sometimes I do get more personal, but there are so many social media masters right now that are really bringing to light the truth that we have to get personal on our business page. Otherwise, people aren't going to buy from us. So we can't just always be sharing like, David Wolf had this great, blah, 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 or sharing something else. Like, we have to get a little personal so that on our business page, it's transcending and having somebody want to buy from us. So test it out. And that's what I say, like, make this a case study. See what people actually like. Do they like recipes? Do they like opt-in freebies? Do they like joining a community? Like, what do your people really like? And so I test it out differently, what goes on my personal page and business. And I just started to go back to posting more personal on my business and finally getting, more traction again, because I was just really focusing on my personal page. Yes, we all need an accountability buddy. So Kristen, if you are in the forum already, or if you've bought the Done For You programs, give a shout out, tag me, and I will help you find a partner. And if you're not in the forum and you want to join, that's why I think the Done For You programs rock. So there's so many different choices, from the smoothie challenge on Rachel's Wellness at Shop to the Done For You programs that we have. And, we don't have fear. I believe, I believe fear lessens, when we have community. I mean, that's why I have like 2 girlfriends that I tell everything to, and, and an acupuncturist and a coach and, a mastermind that I'm part of, because I need community, to hold me accountable to my dreams. And if we don't hold ourselves accountable with due dates, despite how fearful we are, we don't ever turn our dreams into a reality. See, as I'm saying this, I'm writing down something that I need to do tomorrow. Okay, so somebody is saying, in MailChimp, do you have one list and then multiple groups? In MailChimp, I used to have a general list, and then I had, honestly, and this is why I believe so much in the programs, and I would even use handouts as opt-in freebies. I would create a list for each different opt-in freebie. Then when I was done emailing to that specific list, I would move them to the general list. So yes, you do have multiple lists, and you also want to, so you can see statistically what really works for your community. And also what people like. You'll see that from your opt-in freebies. You'll see that from your handouts. I repurposed one handout. I've shared this many times, and we're going to wrap this up soon because you guys have been so awesome to be here on this call this long. And then we can do a Q&A. I'm going to be doing another webinar. We can do a live Q&A, all that different stuff. But the one thing that I wanted, I totally lost my train of thought. The one thing that you want to not make the mistake, and maybe this was where I was talking about, is that if you are following up and you're creating a sales funnel for the people that are warm on those specific segmented lists, this is what I was saying. You want to start seeing those opt-in freebies and using them, because I repurposed one handout in Revitalize 3 different times and built a list with one handout with 292 people. I did it a different way and I got 118, and I did it a different way and got 178 people. And I just messaged it and renamed it and created different covers in PicMonkey and added a few little extra tidbits. But you'll get to see what are the right words that you need to use for your community. So Patricia's saying, Julie, I'm in the same boat. I know I have so much to share for accountability. I've been working with a friend and we set a 30-minute timer when we're going to get done. That's awesome, Patricia. I love that. And also, set that for your business. I believe that you do have to be working, a good hour on your business a day, to be able to have traction, to be able to have consistency, to be able to have visibility. If people don't know you're a coach, and that's the case I found for many, you know you're a coach, but other people don't, then it's time to really get out there. Julie, I'm not understanding. It says you've said this, but how often do you change opt-in freebies? Oh, I circulate them on Facebook constantly. I change out my opt-in freebies on my site, I would say few times a year. This last one, and as you see for health coaches, I have, I would say maybe even every 2 months I come out with a new opt-in freebie, because it's so important to be building that list and webinars and the same kind of thing. So I like to change out opt-in freebies, but I like to even just create them and circulate them on Facebook underneath my post where I'm touching on a pain point and call to action, so that you are building your list always. Somebody's asking random business question, but how many hours per day or per week do you work on your business? I do this full time. So I do work on my business full time. I don't have another, job, and in year one, I wouldn't say I worked on it, full time, but now I definitely, I worked on it full time, but my little one was at home and stuff like that. So there was only so many times in the day I could see clients, and that was really at night. Because both the kids, my son went a half day to school and my daughter was home. So year one was a little tough because of that. Year two, my daughter did go to school part of the day, my son part of the day. And so I doubled what I made at year 2 3/4. My daughter got a little older. And I think my husband started to realize his business was really not coming back and he needed to help out more. And that's when I tripled actually my income. So I would say, how many hours a day? I see clients during the day, but I would say I work on content, marketing, and strategy probably an hour a day or 2 hours. I do social media in the morning. I manage my Facebook forums. Just managing 2 Facebook forums in the morning is over an hour, sometimes an hour. Doing my social media in the morning could be, 35 minutes. Blog posting, which I do twice a week, sometimes 3, and I've done that since day 1. That could take, 40 minutes to do a blog post. So you really have to look at your different days and segment them into time management and really where you're doing that. Some people like to schedule social media at night. Some people like to do it in the morning. Some people schedule right on Facebook, but that is how the business is going to grow. You have to put in the work, and it sucks for a lot of people who are rocking 9 to 5s, come home, they're exhausted, but you have to have that visibility on Facebook. I don't think there's any other way unless you are working your local area. And if you're working your local area, really work that, but still work your visibility online so that you can have passive and active income. And that's what builds sustainability, 100%. Do the same people opt in when you repurpose and opt in? I have had that happen, but I repurpose it and I add a twist. I had like an MP4 or I had a video. I mean, so they're getting something new, and they're still happy, or I'll add like a few extra recipes when I repurpose it. I mean, again, repurposing is taking a handout and adding 3 recipes. And somebody's like, oh my God, this is so cool. And it looks different and it is different. And, and then you give them something extra. Can you have several opt-ins on your website? Yeah, you can have several opt-ins, and then you want to change them out because you want people to have something fresh, hot, and new from you. And then Stacy's saying, is this recorded? Yes, this is recorded, and we are wrapping up because we have literally hit an hour and 20 minutes, which is, I swear my now mojo is 90-minute webinars. If you want to buy the Done For You programs, I mean, as I said, they are right here. They are kick-ass. I believe they're kick-ass. They built my kick-ass business because I had awesome content, and I really believe content is king and content is queen. And I do believe that content equals confidence, but we also do need to, have to believe in ourselves, which is why I'm probably going to be sharing something special in just a few weeks about, just fear and getting over that fear, and just a closed Facebook forum that's about marketing and facing fears and stuff like that. Because what I'm seeing is this is what's holding so many people back, the belief in themselves. So that is why I believe that, not just when you buy a program, you really buy a community. This season we have coach moderators. They're amazing. I will never not have coach moderators because they are coaches that have had success, have been with me season after season. I probably will have more coach moderators because it has just created such a magnificent community. Like it's like if I'm not answering somebody, somebody else is. Anyway, there are still. Yes, I will be doing a Facebook community on, it will be fear, and it will be also some other goodies and some other things. And I will be sharing that. So I'm wicked excited because I don't think it's just about like, the click funnel or the sales funnel, and it's not just about the program. It's all of it. It's all of it combined, and our mind, body, and spirit, and our self-confidence, and our happiness as, women and men, and all of that. And that has to be brought all to the table. It's not just about the perfect VA or the perfect this. I see it's really a lot of belief in ourselves and understanding our story so that we can really, message that properly with our programs. Otherwise, they just sit and they collect dust, and then we buy another program and another and another and another, instead of like really refining what we have. So it has been awesome to be with you guys. it is, if you have not bought this season, I love it. I love the easy weight loss. I love the detox. I feel like we made it so it's so much easier to deliver to your clients. The paleo program, I think, is so just family friendly, user friendly. Revitalize. Coaches are they love Revitalize. I finally explained it properly on how magnificent of a program it is for, for like a 3-month program, and the beauty of it, and body, mind, and spirit. And so if you want to come, it would be an honor to be with you and to hold your hand through this. And somebody's saying, is the coupon good for all programs? It's not good for bundles, like the VIP bundles, because I already discount on that. But if it's like detox with the essential oils, it's good for that. It's good for paleo by itself. So a lot of people will go in and use the 15%, and if they want another program, they'll go back in and add that to a cart. It's applicable to one program, one person. And let me see. So yes, and if you want to, enter to win, please, just go to Rachel's Wellness and rock that out. Again, it's been an honor. I am going to go chill with my hubby right now. Do something good for yourself. For me, I drink I would say 30 ounces of coconut water, chill out, let my mind just rest, because clearly you all know me. I'm a pretty go-go girl. So my night is sacred, and I just want to say thank you for being on this phone call. The replay will go out. I love you all. Somebody's saying, what is the easy weight loss? Oh my God, Nita. If you haven't gone on and seen easy weight loss, you have to. You'll freak out. Coaches who have been with me for season after season after season have said to me, oh my God, Rachel, this is unbelievable. And I told them, expect more of that, because things are changing a lot, based on what I see is really missing in our communities. Easy weight loss is a phenomenal, easy program. And it's one that I used with moms, that I was working with, and just, really simple meals and just really yummy recipes and all this great stuff. So, it's just such a beautiful program. And then who is the paleo program for? A lot of people use the paleo program. I've seen people niche it for hormonal health. I've seen people niche it for autoimmune. I've seen people use it for people who are athletes, because it's grain-free and it really aligns with kind of that like CrossFit. But it also talks about that paleo mindset of going back to that primal state. It also talks about healthy fats and getting off sugar, and just, real awesome basic things that, our clients ask, and that we're always reinventing the wheel to right. If you have any questions, please email me personally, without a doubt. I'm always here to answer questions. I often will even get on the phone, with a coach if they say, I'm just really confused. There's so many options. I'm like, hell yeah, there's options, because we're all so different. We're all different coaches. We all have different clients. So if you have questions, just holler to me, whether it's through my site at Rachel's Wellness, through Facebook. Best not to email me through Rachel's Wellness. I just don't see it that fast. You can, email me and just directly Rachel Feldman, or again through my site, or even here. We have a little button down on the side that it says ask any questions. I get that in email form. So, or at the bottom of the sales page, you can fill out, a question form, and really I will say this honestly, there is no magic bullet. you know, everyone tries to sell a magic bullet. What I really believe on, which has built my business, is that I had great content. I had content that I could use in blogs. I had content that I could put on my website. And when I did that was when I started to have people say, oh, wow, so this is what you're about. But you also need a community. And so when, you know, most people who know me know that that's really what I'm about. I believe that each one of you are going to have a different way that you market. And that is the key to longevity and the sustainability of your business, is understanding what your niche needs, and breaking through the fears of being able to put yourself out there. Somebody's saying, if I don't have a website, do you have a coachable program on getting that set up? Nationally advertised as web.com, where they market your website and maintain it. Actually, Kimberly, I have a woman who I met who's even, I don't know web.com, but I know this woman who she creates beautiful websites. I met her in New York at where I was like with like 200 entrepreneurs, and I flew up, left my family. I knew I had to be at this event to just meet like some really amazing people who are really talking the talk and walking the walk. And it can get a little scary on Facebook where you're like, oh my God, this person says they do this, they do that. So Kimberly, reach out to me personally. I will CC you with her. You can see if you're a good fit. I met her. I have followed her on Facebook, and I like to meet people before I recommend them. I like to use them before I recommend them. And she's like the real deal, and I really love her. So if you don't have a website and you need somebody to maintain it, because that's where the big stuff comes in. Like the moment I need a change, it's like, boom, that's, you know, anywhere from a $35 to a $100, $125 fee, depending on what type of webmaster or VA you have. And she has just a great setup. So Kimberly, feel free to reach out to me right after this. I will be in my bed, but I will get to you in the morning. Yeah, and Stacy, 100%. Yeah, contact me about working with me one-on-one. It's hella fun. I do stalk my clients. That's why I don't take on many, because it's not uncommon for me to call and say like, you know, I didn't get that email from you. Where was that email? I need to check on this. So please, without a doubt, shoot me an email and we'll talk. Yes, I'm always selling the smoothie challenge that is on Rachel's Wellness. Go to shop. It's called New Beginnings. And it's so beautiful. I love how we laid it out. So excited. And next time, to make it easier, I'm going to have it on Health Coach Biz too, because everyone always asks me, where is it? But it's on Rachel's Wellness. I also need help with a site. Don't worry. I was tech defunct, deficient, everything. And this woman, like I said, she's just so awesome. So, so awesome. So yes, Patricia. And she and I might even do a webinar so that we can really talk about just how rad she is. I really think she is. And she's a mom, and she's, not that I'm saying that, not being a mom is, but she really runs her business from soul. But she's also very smart strategically. So I'm really impressed with her work. What's the email to get scheduled? Stacy, shoot me an email through, just shoot me an email through rachelswellness.com. And we can schedule. Sweet. All right, guys. I'm outie 530, as we would say back in the day. It's been awesome to be with you. If you want to roll with me more, that's how we roll in the forum. And I will be doing, like I said, more of these. I might even, I'm just even throwing it out there. It's like if people buy in the next, 72 hours, and people always know this is how I roll too, is that if you already bought, you get access to this anyway, but we can do a VIP, Q&A on all this stuff. So why don't I just write that down? by the next 72 hours, and this is how we're going to roll. And we do an extra webinar where we rock out all of this kind of stuff. And then I can also talk about, this next cool thing I'm going to do before we end the season, which is crazy that I'm already writing summer. But anyway, somebody's saying, thank you. I've also second guessed myself with startup. And you've been so helpful. I'm getting my first program from you tonight. Lissa, dude, you made my night because, dude, fear, I listened to an inspirational video. Fear robs us of our dreams. It creates adrenal fatigue. We lose our hair, we lose our sex drive, we lose, everything, our happiness. And, and fear of putting ourselves out there, for a lot of people, we think we have to be perfect. And, I struggled for many years to figure out my digestive issues because there's autoimmune, there's Lyme, and anyone knows that, combating those kind of stuff, there's not this one simple solution. And I think, that's the thing that I'm talking to you about. Don't fall for the hype, don't believe that there's just this one quick fix of, hey, I'm going to buy this, this one course or this one opt-in freebie, and it's going to be perfect. No, we really need to work on, and this is your homework for all of you. I want you to, post over the next 7 days. See what people like. Put your heart into it. Let people get to know you. And if they don't know that you're a health coach, if all you're posting about are, dogs or cats or sharing from, David Wolf, that's not enough for people to know that they need to hire you because you're freaking magnificent. So, let's get into the place where it's you say over and over, I believe in myself. Even though I'm scared, I fully believe in myself and accept myself completely, which is, EFT. That can be a whole nother webinar. But get into the mindset of speaking to yourself. And when that self-doubt comes in, say, oh, wow, self-doubt, you're here. Why'd you show up to the party? What's going on with me, and really get clear on what it is that's stopping you and holding you back. Because, that is the very stuff that kills our dreams. Like I said, and our dreams, we didn't get into this business to not do what we need to do. And the thing that I will leave you with is I remember somebody saying to me, this is my second coach, and I saved all my ducats, for the coaches that I hired because I knew that they would be that profound for me and shift me to another place in my life. I remember that coach saying your fear, it's selfish if you have that fear because there are people out there that need to hear your message. And I worked with that person for 6 months. I mean, and I swear I cried. I think we talked business the last month. That was it. I thought I was hiring a business coach. I cried and I let go of emotions and things that were stopping me from stepping forward in my life. And it was all about just old stories and old just junk and fears and all of that. So I remember her saying to me, if you're scared and if that's stopping you, it's selfish. The world needs you. You weren't created to stand and to play small. And that really is what I believe. And I tell my children that, when they bicker sometimes in the morning, I say, you didn't choose me as your mother to not be change makers in this world. Think of those in this world that don't know the things that you know because you're empowered. Don't bicker right now. And it's not that I don't let my children speak up, but I remind them that they have a mission. That's why they chose me as a mom. And you have a mission too. So if you're sitting there in fear, it's okay. Fear is a great motivator, but it can also, kill the very things that we need to do. So don't let it. Again, if you have questions, reach out to me, through my site, anything. And again, it's just always a complete honor to be with you guys. I love health coaches, deep in my soul. And I love people who have dreams and just need loving and a little hustle to, little love behind their tuchus. And that's what I try to do. So anyway, yeah, Patricia's saying face everything and rock. I love that. I should get that posted on my should get that written on my wall. Yeah, Stacy, it's the 15-minute sessions for signing up with me. They're limited these days. So just shoot me an email and we'll figure it out and I will add it. It was just in launch time. And last week I wrote the whole week. So it was just a limited time of what I knew I could give my best. So anyway, I love you guys all. Have an amazing night. Rock it out. Be true to yourself. Be true to your mission. And I will see you on the flip side. If you have questions about the programs, again, email me. If you want to win the fire tablet and the smoothie challenge and you're in the business, go to Rachel's Wellness and, tell me what you're all about. So if not, like I said, just been an honor to be with you guys. And I do hope to see you in the forum. I think these programs are life-changing, and I think the community is even more profound. So I will see you guys soon. Have a good one. Bye.